St. Augustine, Florida, our nation's oldest city, embedded in books as world history and in our hearts and minds as personal memories. Here at Bayview Health, many of our residents are native to this great city, and as they see it, part of their comfort and care is the opportunity to share their history and stories, to inspire, entertain, and educate those who provide their daily care.
I've been here at Bayview over 10 years, and I can write a book on St. Augustine just from the stories from some of the residents here at Bayview.
What I especially enjoy about my job as a nurse is getting to listen to the stories of all my residents. I never had the opportunity to meet any of my 4 grandparents, unfortunately, so I find myself often just listening to the stories of just, I imagine that if I did have grandparents, I would be able to sit and listen to their stories, and it's just wonderful.
I was born here in 1923. You know where Ripley's is?
Yes.
Right across the street from Ripley's is a filling station. We had a big house, big shingle house. We had a lot of kids. We had to have a big house.
Right.
We had 7 children. I had 7 siblings. My father was married once, and he had 2 children, and his wife died. And one of the girls was born at the oldest schoolhouse. Her grandmother ran it as a little gift shop. I went to school, graduated from Catalina's, then went to nurse's school in Philadelphia. I came back to St. Augustine and worked at Flagler Hospital. And then I went to New York, Manhattan, and worked at the Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center. When I was in New York, I had some pretty important patients. I had Sonia Henney was a patient of ours. Cary Grant was a patient of ours. President Eisenhower was a patient. Yeah, then I came back, and then I was in charge of pediatrics. Then I started working for a eye, ear, nose, and throat specialist, and I worked for him for 25 years.
As a child growing up in Orlando, we used to come to St. Augustine all the time. I knew one day I'd move here. I've been blessed. I've been living in St. Augustine for 4 years and working for Bayview for 3. And now every day I get to share stories of St. Augustine. I've heard stories from seeing Martin Luther King Jr. at a church here downtown, to family history of childbirth in the old school souvenir shop. It's so wonderful, and I treasure every day. And it's great to see the residents trust us and open up to us. They're not residents really to me, they're an extended family. And every day I enjoy listening to their stories.
There's about, I don't know how many generations of Menominee. And they settled in New Smyrna and then walked from New Smyrna to St. Augustine. And a lot of them died on the way. So on account of mosquitoes and lack of food, I guess. They came from the island of Minorca. But that's mostly what I grew up with as family. We'd go spend the night with one cousin, and because there were 6 of us, I was the youngest of 6. It was during the war, during World War II. And so I used to walk way out on San Marco Avenue to St. Joseph's Academy at night when all the sailors and soldiers and all were all over town. I wasn't afraid. They were just as nice as they could be. It was real nice. I mean, we went to dances all the time, different dance halls. We went to, my husband and I loved to dance. We met dancing. I just wished I had been to Minorca. We went to Spain and were right there to it. But we were so silly. We're away, and we thought the island of Minorca was way away from Madrid, and so we didn't go. But
So St. Augustine will always be your home.
yeah, yes, always, always. No place else. But you leave and you come right back. I mean,
You know, it's really interesting when you get to talk to the residents and when they share their story with you. A lot of them have done more in a lifetime than most who intend. They have so much to give back if you just take a few minutes of your time and hear their stories.
All the residents call me Miss B or B. I've been from Buckingham to Bayview. I've been working here 20 years, and you wouldn't believe the stories that the residents been telling me. Outstanding, long history that I can relate to, and my family members can relate to it. I enjoy working here. Just love the residents.
I've been living in St. Augustine 89 plus years. It'll be 90 years in August. I taught school at Murray High School and Murray Middle School. Well, I taught classes of chemistry, physics, physical ed, general science, mathematics, and Spanish. And I've taught a few teachers in St. Augustine, a few persons that have taught, and I've gotten some math majors and Spanish majors. They're teaching now, presently hired. But one thing she mentioned, I was chosen as a teacher of the year one year during the 63, 64, during the Martin Luther King era, and that was a kind of upsetting time. But I remember it very, very vividly because Martin Luther King, he spoke to one or two of the churches, and he also spoke to my church, and that was when Mrs. Peabody came down and spoke to my church, and I was excited just to see, Martin Luther King, just like I was about seeing when I saw Malcolm X in New York. I was very excited about seeing him. Dory, one of the nurses, I haven't seen her in approximately 35 years. She was a very sweet young lady and a very good student, and I was so shocked to see her because she heard me laugh or something, and she said, "Oh, that sounds like somebody I know." And she came in here and she said, "It is." And I didn't have to tell her my name or anything, because once you've been bothered with me, you remember that name.
Listening to the residents talk about their lives is just as important as providing their care.